think we are live. Hello, hello. If anyone is there, anyone is listening to this, just let me know in the comments. Tell me from where you are joining. How are you doing? And we can get this session going. Yeah, I know it's been a long time that we have done live. So I'm really looking forward to interacting with all of you. Let's see who else is live. Am I live already or no? I have. Okay, let me just check on my channel if there is anyone listening to this. Okay, I think a few people have joined already. So let me open the comment box where it is. Okay, all right. So we have Saurabh. Hello, Saurabh. How are you doing? Let me just put the message over here so that it is clearly visible. Who else? Saurabh from Kolkata. Then we have Ranjan from Delhi. Hello, Ranjan. How are you? Swaraj from Odisha. Yuvraj from Tamil Nadu. Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, thanks for joining. Uh, Dumindu from Sri Lanka. Hello, Dumindu. Saurabh, can you please upload AWS with Terraform series? Saurabh, I am working on it, buddy. I have told you multiple times it takes a lot of time to do the research, to record, edit. So it has 30 videos. Now I have to do the research for 30 videos. Then I have to get the thumbnails done for those 30 videos. Then record those 30 videos and edit those 30 videos. So you see, there is a whole process behind the video production, and when it comes to playlist such as this one, right? So hang on tight, it's on the way. I should start publishing it soon, and I will be publishing 30 videos in 30 days, or at least 5 videos from Monday to Friday each week. So that's what my plan is right now. So you should start seeing those AWS Terraform videos soon. And trust me, when I say this, it's gonna be one of a kind series like what we did with Azure Terraform, what we did with CK series. It will be absolute quality. So I don't compromise with quality. That's why it. I take time with everything. So just hang on tight, and yes, it will be coming soon. Jafar, your CK series is just wow. I'm learning from it. Thank you, Jafar. Thank you for the feedback. I really appreciate it, and I I'm glad that you find it helpful. So thank you so much. Yuvraj, bro, what was this live about? This live is because I haven't done any live for quite in a long time because I'm busy with my kids, with my family. So right now I got some time. My dad took my kid for a walk outside, so I had some time. I thought, yeah, why don't we go live and see what everyone else is doing? So it's good. Okay, feel free to ask me any question around cloud, DevOps, anything that you have in mind. If it's something that I know about, I would definitely love to help and provide guidance. Okay. विजय, आपके पॉडकास्ट के बाद अक्षय भाई से मुलाकात हो गई मेरी. Good to know, विजय. I hope you found it helpful. Okay. Pramod Madik, do DevOps engineer need to learn any language like Python or Go? Pramod, the answer is yes. You need to learn at least Python. Python is what is highly recommended for any DevOps engineer, and it is expected that DevOps engineer know Python. So you might get job without Python, with just Bash script, with just shell script and basic scripting, but then you won't be able to survive much long in IT industry, at least in the DevOps role, without knowing Python or any other programming language. So it is, you know you can hate it if you want, but this is what you have to do, right? So there is no escape from it. So yeah. Do it instead of spending time and asking for clarification from multiple people. It's gonna help you anyways, right? So okay, so Raj, can we have a session on Grafana and Prometheus integration for AKS environment for a complex architecture? So Raj, definitely we can plan something, but it's like I have a lot of videos in the pipeline for now, lot of playlists, lot of videos, and so we can plan it soon. But for now, I'm focusing on AWS Terraform series, and after that, there's gonna be more Kubernetes series, more real-time projects, and in those projects, I'll see if I can fit AKS with Grafana, Prometheus, and so on. Right? Okay. Let's see. The next one is this. Okay. I have 9 years of experience. Please don't call me sir. Yeah, let's not do that. My name is Piyush. You know my name, right? So let's start with that. I have 9 years of experience in other domain application support in IIoT. I'm not sure what is IIoT, but okay. If I learn DevOps, it is possible to switch to DevOps side. Yes, Shivansu, that's right. You can definitely move from applications support to DevOps. If I could do it, you can do it. I was also from an application support background, right? I did that for many years. And then I moved to DevOps role. Then I moved to cloud, then back to DevOps, then back to cloud. So I've switched multiple roles, but my primary role, my base role for which I was hired in my first job, it was application support. And there are many more of my friends, my colleague who have successfully transitioned from application support to DevOps role. So yes, it is possible, it is doable. It's just you have to work hard for it. You have to create proof of concept. You have to build some amazing projects so that you can explain that in the interview that yes, this is all the stuff that I have done, even if with self learning, even if on the job. But you have to prove something with the proof of work that you have developed. So yes, definitely you can do it. Okay. Nilesh Sharma, how are agents being used in DevOps right now? Nilesh, I think we are currently in an era where agents are being used in the DevOps cycle, but it's not that mature that it can be used at enterprise level or in the production grade software. Companies are still adopting it. Companies are still doing proof of concepts like POCs and everything, but mostly they are not live, or they are being used for small tasks to automate some tasks, not as a CI/CD pipeline, but they are being used to automate tasks to for the report generation. For example, let's say I am working on some ticketing tool, right? So I could maybe create a tool, an automation using an LLM, and then I could get daily reports of what I have worked throughout the day and some LLM generated recommendation of what are my next steps, something like that. So, yes, so they are being used actively for automating the workflows, but not as a CI CD pipeline, at least yet. We don't know what's there in the future, but at least not yet. Okay, next question is okay. First, do we need to learn Docker and Kubernetes from Udemy of yours and then follow your CK playlist? Okay, Raj. So, yes, this question I have been asked multiple times. What is the difference between the Udemy course that I have and the CK playlist that I have? Okay. So, the CK playlist that is focused on Certified Kubernetes Administrator exam, right? And I have also, like, there's an announcement I was about to do, but let me show you this. So I have also published a book on that as well, Certified Kubernetes Administrator. It's a book with the publisher. It's a well-known publisher. It will be out soon, and I am yet to record the announcement video for that. So you will hear the news soon, and I'll share all the details from where you can buy it, or where it is available. But for now, let me tell you this: the CK playlist is focused on the CK exam, and it contains the concept from basic to intermediate level, and it covers everything for CK, right? And in that I have used kind cluster on Kubernetes, and then kubeadm installation on EC2 servers for the demos and everything. And there are some lab environments as well, like Killer Coda, and um, then we have Code Cloud and so on, like multiple lab environments, free playground mostly. So that was CK. And when it comes to Udemy course was created in two parts. So there is a Docker part and Kubernetes. Docker was it was taught by Hitesh Chaudhary. I'm sure you know who he is. And Kubernetes part I taught. And then in Kubernetes we have four sections mostly. So there are multiple chapters, but the high level distribution are four chapters. One is Kubernetes, and rest three are Kubernetes managed services. What are these managed services? GKE, AKS, and EKS. So there is a lot of difference between the Udemy course and CK course. If you are looking for something that is certification exam focused, then go with the YouTube playlist, which is there free of cost. And if you want to learn about managed Kubernetes services, GKE, AKS, EKS with the real time hands on projects and all those things, then you can go with Udemy. And there'll be the discount link will be available as well. So it's available in very cheap price, because we don't believe in selling, at a really high cost, but we have to cover the cost of the video production and everything. So it's available, I guess, in 60-70% discount always. And in Indian rupees it's 400 rupees, I believe. And if you are purchasing it from Canada or US, the cost is different, but there'll be heavy discount on that as well. And link to that would be hitesh.ai/udemy hyphen DevOps. Let me see if I can just put the text over here somewhere. Okay, I think I can do that. So just give me a second. Uh, Okay. Oops. What did I do over here? Let me edit the text. Okay, it did the autocorrect. I don't want it to autocorrect. Okay, so here's the link for the CKA Udemy course. You can check it out. You can, I mean, with this link, it is available on a heavy discount. So you can check it out. You can check out the content, and if you like it, you can buy it. Okay, I hope I was able to answer your question. Let me take the next one. Okay. Sir, I'm weak in coding. I want to excel in the field of cloud and DevOps. What kind of roles can I go for? Abdur, what would I say if you say you are weak in coding? First, work on that. If you know something that you are not comfortable with, but it is required in the industry, then why don't you go ahead with it first? Because sooner or later you would need coding, whether you are working with AI, whether you're working with LLM, DevOps, anything, you would definitely need coding in some capacity, right? So start with Python, start with fundamentals of it, start using Python for basic scripting tasks, at least basic automation tasks. See how Python is being used interacting with LLMs and automating the workflow, and then think about what roles you want to go in. But if it is a technical role, then yes, you would need coding. Okay, let's take okay, can you tell me which tool is best for CI/CD pipeline, like Azure DevOps, GitHub, or Jenkins? It totally depends on how much do you know, how much you have learned it, how much you have practiced it. And uh, so if you are beginner, I would say start with Jenkins, because Jenkins is something that is available, that is there out there for a long time, right? And Jenkins had a lot of feature. It's been developed over the year. It has the community support. Plus, there is a lot of things that you will do while learning Jenkins. You will integrate it with other tools, like for version control, for Artifactory, for Docker, Kubernetes, cloud. So you have to do all this integration by yourself. So there is a lot of learning in that. So start with Jenkins, and then you can choose between GitHub Action, Azure DevOps, or GitLab. So these three are my top recommendations. But first, start with Jenkins. And specific to Kubernetes, nothing beats Argo CD. Argo CD is a CIS. It's basically a CD tool for GitOps and used for Kubernetes. But yeah, these are all my recommendations. Okay, where it is. I'm working in end user computing team. First of all, I'm not really sure what an end user computing is, but and want to move into DevOps. How can I do so? So Pavan, there is a video that I have published a few months back. It's about DevOps roadmap. So check that out. It has step by step guidance of what all the um, tools you need to learn, what all the processes, technologies, and skill you need to acquire, and it has resources as well, like links of playlist. It has links of blogs and everything, right? So check it out, and it will help you answer this question. Piyush bhai, hello Mohit bhai, how are you? Long time. क्या यही हमारी जॉब ले लेगा? Big fan and admirer. Bro, only time will tell. Only time will tell. I don't know. Okay, I'm confused. I'm looking to learn AKS. Should I start by learning plain Kubernetes first? Can I learn AKS directly? Yes. If you are planning to learn AKS, AKS is nothing but a managed Kubernetes service by Azure, right? That's why it's called Azure Kubernetes Service. But before learning a managed Kubernetes service, you need to learn Kubernetes first, right? Because managed Kubernetes service is nothing but a fork of the open source Kubernetes, and they have added additional features on top of it. So you need to learn Kubernetes first. Yes. But before learning Kubernetes, you need to learn Docker or containers first, because Kubernetes is a container orchestration tool. Without understanding the problems with containerization, without understanding containerization and what problems does Kubernetes solve, you should not be going with the Kubernetes, right? So go with the path Docker, Kubernetes, and then AKS. And yes, if you need resources for AKS, I have put down a link below hitesh.ai/Udemy DevOps. It will provide you a heavy discounted link for the Udemy course that we have recently published. So check it out, and if you like it, yeah, feel free to buy it. Okay, and okay. As a fresh graduate, the CK exam is enough to get entry level job? Dumindo, this is a common misconception that certification helps you get a job. There was a time when it used to, like maybe 8 years back, 10 years back, but now it's not the case, right? So, certification alone would not help you get a job. You need to build solid projects, you need to prepare proof of concepts. And if you do that, you might not even need the certification. Certification does not help you get the job. Your skills help you get the job. Certification only would help you maybe highlight your resume, or maybe getting the initial screening call from the recruiter and getting shortlisted in the initial HR round. And that's all about it. Because many of the job requirements these days have this like mandatory this certification or that certification, or good to have, whatever, right? But if you have solid skills, if you have solid proof of work, then you won't probably need the certification as well, right? So the short answer to that is certification can help you get the interview, but your skills, your hands-on knowledge, your like whatever the projects that you have built, this is what helps you get the job. Okay. All right. Thanks for wonderful tutorials. Thank you, Balaji. Can you make a video on how mainframes are adopting DevOps practices and cloud integration? Sure. When I have some knowledge about how mainframe works, then definitely. For now, I think it's little out of scope of what I know and about my expertise. So for now, I'll just park it, but definitely I'll try to learn more about it. Okay, Kunal. Hello. I have done LFX in CNCF and GSOC at QFlop. I know intermediate level Kubernetes. I want to know how to find remote internship. Kunal, the only way of finding the remote job, remote internship, or whatever is learning in public. You know, you learn in public, you showcase what you have learned, you add some values to the communities that you are part of, right? So you build something, you put it out there, and let people notice it, and let people reach out themselves instead of you applying to multiple companies. So that's the only way you can, but for that you have to build solid proof of concept, and this is what I have been telling for past 20 minutes or so. Like, you have to build solid proof of work, you have to create some project that adds some visibility to your resume, to your social profiles, and help you get notice among recruiters. Okay, so try to work on that, and yes, definitely then you can get some responses. Okay. Okay. Recommended proof of concept for DevOps: 2 years experience, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, and security tool. Sorry, I don't know your name, One Tech. So you can check out my YouTube channel. There are multiple projects that I've created in each of the playlists. So recently, I've completed Azure Terraform playlist. In that, check the last few projects. Okay, last 4 5 videos of that series, from video I believe 24 to 28. So check out those five projects, and then you can check 10 weeks of Cloud Ops playlist. You can check um, which playlist, and there is a DevOps and cloud projects, real time projects playlist as well. So check out those projects, and don't just check out. I mean, just try to build those projects yourself as well, right? Okay, Aham Brahmasami. Okay. I'm from pro support background, past 4 years, and I want to go into DevOps, learn Terraform and CI/CD Docker basics. Any guidance to clear interview? So first, try to understand the issue. Okay, so when you say I need guidance to clear interview, first try to understand where the gap is. Whether you are not getting interview calls, is that the issue? Or you're getting the interview calls but you are not able to clear it, is that the issue? Or you are able to clear, let's say, technical round and not getting passed through it to the managerial round, or the recruiter or the HR round, is that the issue? So first try to understand the gap. Is the gap is in your resume or marketing? Is the gap is in your skill? Is the gap is how you are applying to job, or like how you are presenting yourself out there? If you are not able to explain it properly, so try to understand the gap first, and then work on that particular thing, right? If you need help with clearing the technical interviews, the only way to do that is do hands on practice. Okay, build projects, break things, fix things, troubleshoot it, try it, whatever it takes, spend whole night if it takes, right? And then you should be able to explain that interview, because when you see DevOps interview question, all these LinkedIn posts, people will provide you interview question like what is Terraform, what is CI/CD. No one asks these questions. Okay, what we asked in the interview, like as an interviewer, if I were an interviewer, I am an interviewer, but like I'm not a DevOps specific interviewer, but let's say if I were, or when I was a DevOps lead and when I was hiring for DevOps roles, the question I used to ask was, what was the last issue you faced while working with Kubernetes, and how did you fix it? Okay, and you won't be able to answer those questions by just learning some interview question. You have to had the experience of using Kubernetes, fixing the issue by yourself, and the only way is when you implement it by yourself, right? Hands on makes all the difference. You won't be able to answer any of the troubleshooting question if you have not done the troubleshooting by yourself. So again, I'll say, implement the projects, break things, and then fix it, and then it helps you get that knowledge, then it helps you with the interview questions and in the professional career as well. Okay. Bevov, hello Bevov, how are you buddy? All right, let's see who's next. Okay, Krishna, sir, please can you make paid course for serious student from scratch to job ready to start? Sorry, Krishna, I cannot. I don't have time to do, like, seriously. My my whole day is jam packed with everything. I wake up 4 in the morning to record the YouTube videos and so on. I don't have time to do anything else. I have a 9 to 5 job. I have two kids to take care of, and then I love to spend rest of the time with my family. So yeah, I hope you get the answer. Okay. Nishtha, I'm working in Citrix team last 1 year. How can I start learning DevOps? What topics to cover in Python for DevOps role? Nishtha, for DevOps, there is a DevOps roadmap video, so you can check that out. It's there on my channel. And specific to Python, I would say you can take the help of any LLM to uh, to create the scenarios for you, like what kind of things we can do with Python for DevOps specific role. Mostly it is used for automation, right? For the DevOps role. So see all the things that you can automate, and see, like, in your team, is there any opportunity for automating anything? Because when you are learning something, and if you learn it with the actual issues, when you solve the actual problems that is there around you, then you learn a lot. So see, in your team, even if it is not specific to DevOps, but still it will help you learn a lot of things. It will help you learn Python a lot more. So try to see if there are any automation opportunities in your team, within your team, within your organization, using Python, if you can fix those things. Okay, so try that out. And when specific to Python for DevOps, try maybe start with, let's say, some normal task, like log rotation, or backup, doing the backup of your existing environment, backup and restore, disaster recovery, um, let's say purging the log files that is for 3 to 4 months old, or that has not been touched in past few months, all those things, right? So take a few examples from Google search or LLM and try to work on that, and then start working on all the other use cases. So majority of your interviews will be around the actual complex project implementations. So work with Terraform, work with Kubernetes, try to implement the end-to-end CI/CD pipeline with all the best practices, right? That will help you a lot. Okay, let's take the next one where it is. Okay, Pranav, I got a job by learning and one project explanation, but how will I work in this company with no experience? Pranav, if you have got the job, congratulations. You have done the hard work. You have there half of the way, and rest of that you will do it by upskilling yourself. So you said you did some learning and you explained one project, and using that, it helped you get a job, right? So now to survive in that job, you have to build more project, you have to do more hands-on, you have to more learning. So double down your efforts that you put in learning and getting a job. Now double it down, work hard, and don't stop until you are comfortable. Each job is a new experience, right? Whenever you join a new company, will be a different experience, and you have to learn everything from scratch. Like when I joined Google, I never really worked on GCP cloud before that. I only had experience with AWS or Azure, but I learned the hard way. Like you do it on the job. That's how you do it, right? Before I got my job as an DevOps lead, I never really had experience working with Azure DevOps, but I learned it, I implemented it, and then I taught everyone using my Azure DevOps playlist, right? So there is no better way of learning than doing by yourself, and try to mentor others as well if you can. This will help you a lot. Okay, by the way, congratulations. I wish you will do well in your job. Okay. Um okay. One tech, thank you. Who else is there? Anil Kumar, your playlist is awesome. Thank you so much, Anil. Really appreciate that. Then we have Trunk Olive. Okay. Hey Piyush, I'm fresh graduate and I am learning your CK playlist. So, cloud for cloud jobs, is it good to prepare CK playlist or I'm overlapping it and I already finished half of 70% of the videos? Okay. So let me try to understand. You're saying, is it good to prepare CKA for cloud jobs? Okay. So CKA playlist, it's good because it covers all the administration and most of the developer part of Kubernetes, right? And if you're planning for certification, it will be really helpful. So if you can go for the certification, go for it. It will really help you because not a lot of fresh graduates have CKA certification, and Kubernetes is something that has been popular in the recent year, at least in the fresh graduates, right? So I would say it will give you an extra edge. It will help you stand out from the crowd if you get the certification, if you get the CK certification. Even if you don't get the certification, you will acquire a lot of skills. So the CK playlist has 55 videos. That means around 53 concepts, one concept in each video with hands-on, with demos and everything. So even if it won't help you in that particular uh, some particular job, maybe there are some companies that are not using Kubernetes, and if you're interviewing in that, maybe it won't be that helpful in that, but for majority of the job hunt it will be really helpful. So yes. Okay. I am an 8-year experienced tech support guy and currently learning DevOps. How can I mention it in on my resume for experience? Okay. So first, what you need to do is you need to create some project by yourself, something that is unique. So for example, I have created something. Let's say I have created a video of an end-to-end CI/CD and with GitOps, Argo CD, Terraform, and so on, right? So take that as a reference and try to see what else you can implement in that. Can you implement quality gates? Can you implement automated testing? Can you implement pull request and merge step? Can you implement a review step before the production deployment? Can you implement monitoring, alerting, logging on that? So try to take a reference from a project and make it as big as a complex project so that it will help you in two ways. First is you will be able to explain it in the interview. Okay, you will be able to explain it as an experience in the interview. Yes, I was working as a tech support guy, but I had the opportunity to work on this project as well. So this is what I have done, and this is what I have learned from it. And one is that. Second is you will be able to learn a lot of tools and technologies that is required for you to perform that job, right? So that's the only way. Okay, Neetu, I am in Canada now and planning to transition into DevOps. Which certification are must have here to land a job, and also how important is Terraform certification? Okay, I would say looking at the current market, there is no certification that is must. But if you want to stand out from the crowd, then you have to do something, right? You have to build some project. You have to make your social presence visible. You have to do networking with a lot of people. You have to go to the networking events, meetups, and so on, right? And you can also do certification. So that's one of the other way, but it will only help you get that initial interview call. Okay. So now, if you are planning for certification, I would say either go with one associate certification from any of the clouds. So either AWS Solution Architect Associate or Azure Admin or GCP ACE, which is Associate Cloud Engineer. So one of in any of those, and then CK certification, which is Kubernetes Certified Kubernetes Administrator. So these two certifications, I would say, again, not must have, but it will be good to have. Terraform certification, if you have vouchers for it, then sure, go for it. But I wouldn't recommend spending money on getting the Terraform certification, right? You can just learn Terraform. You can check out my playlist, Azure Terraform playlist, and that would be more than sufficient. Terraform certification in itself doesn't have a lot of value. Okay. I wish you good luck in your job search, and I hope I was able to answer your question. Okay, if you are a fresher, then what are projects you would add in your resume will help us? Okay, so if I were a fresher, I would start with this. I would start with Okay, first of all, you don't have to add a lot of projects. Okay, so adding small projects, adding small 10 projects won't help you. But if you add one big enough complex project, that will help you a lot. So again, the same example that I have told earlier. So take any reference video from my recent projects, right, and see what else you can build on top of it. Either try to host your portfolio, because if you are applying for a DevOps role, you won't be, most probably you won't be judged based on your on your front end skill or your back end skill. You will be judged, you will be evaluated based on your DevOps skills, right? So take any project, make it live. Let's say there is a portfolio website. Okay, so create a portfolio website. Try to create it on separate virtual machines, like front end, back end, database, a 3 tier application. Try to make it highly available with multiple auto scaling groups, right? And try to create the database as primary and secondary for the failover, implement disaster recovery and failover on that. Then see what else you can do. Okay, create another version of it in which you dockerize the application and convert that into a microservice based application. Migrate your application from virtual machines to a Kubernetes setup. Okay, then implement CI/CD, implement GitOps using Argo CD, automate the infrastructure provisioning using Terraform. Okay, implement monitoring, alerting, and logging on top of it. Implement static code analysis, implement um, automated testing, PR reviews, whatever you think of as part of the best practice. Okay, so you don't need hundreds of projects. You just need one big complex project that contains all your tools, all the DevOps life cycle. Okay, so this is what I would do if I were a fresher. Okay, this question I have already answered, and please read my previous comment. I have already replied to your comment. Okay, sure. As a fresher, what would be better to focus on the internship, cloud roles, or DevOps as a whole? You see, DevOps is the entire umbrella, and cloud role are part of DevOps. Okay, so cloud is the infrastructure piece of it, where you host your projects, where you host your application, where you provision your environments and make use of computing and everything. So I would say, like, when you learn cloud on DevOps, don't learn it separately. Learn it as one single entity, cloud on DevOps, so that you have more options. You have widened your scope with learning cloud and DevOps. Both, most of the tools and technologies overlap between those two, right? And when you learn a single point, let's say you are only focusing on cloud and not learning DevOps at all, then you will be only getting roles such as, let's say, cloud support or cloud consultant, and you are restricted to those kind of role, cloud engineer. But when you learn cloud and DevOps whole together, then there is no end to it, the number of opportunities that are there, right? So just focus on that, focus on cloud and DevOps as one single entity rather than separate things. Okay, I'm not getting enough opportunities in cloud and DevOps, what should I do? What I would say is, if you're not getting enough opportunities, so again, there are two things, right? One is you're not getting interview calls. Second is you're getting interview calls, but you are not able to clear the interview. If you are one of the first kind who are not getting interview calls, that means there are issues with the projects that you have in your resume, or your resume itself, or you are not doing enough reach outs. You are not doing cold emailing to people. Um, you are not going to networking events. You are not doing networking with people. You are not marketing yourself enough. You are not showing the recruiters that what you have, right? If you are in first phase, I would say it's a marketing issue rather than a skill issue. So try to market yourself. You have to, so there is a difference between bragging about your skills and showcasing your skills. So you have to find a fine line between those two, right? And once you get it, you should be able to get a call. Have you heard of that guy named Soham Parekh? He was able to get multiple calls in YC backed startups remotely. If there are not enough opportunities in the market, how was he able to get it in not just one company, in multiple companies at the same time? So if um, again, focus on what I have said, focus on working on your resume, your skills, and your the projects that you have in your resume, right? Market yourself better. Could you please start scenario based interview prep series for DevOps job? So the way I work is I start a series which is based on a tool or specific area of DevOps, and then I start with the fundamentals, and then I create projects on top of it, right? And like recently what I have started in past 1 year, so I don't even trim the errors that I have faced during the implementation. I do the live troubleshooting while doing the recording, and I keep that in the video so that whoever watching the video knows what error we could face and how do we troubleshoot, how do we fix it. So if you do all of those things, if you implement the project yourself, and when you get the error and when you fix the error, then you will be able to answer all the scenario based questions, right? So you don't need separate scenario based series for that. So this is what my thinking. I may be wrong, but this is what I love to do, and this is what I'm continuing to do. um, Scenario based interview prep series, I'm not sure, maybe in the future, but for now I don't have anything in the pipeline, right? So this is what I would say. Okay. Okay. I have 2.8 years of experience and I'm planning to switch jobs. During interview, I often face scenario based question mainly from Kubernetes, Terraform, or cloud, and I struggle to give answer. I mean, you are struggling to give answers because you don't have a lot of hands-on experience with all those things, right? Now, if you watch my videos, especially the real-time projects that I do in every series, and if you implement that from scratch by yourself, then you should be able to answer those scenario-based questions. So that is the only way of answering. Otherwise, there is no end to learning, right? You can keep googling 1,000 interview questions, 100 interview questions, and there is no end to it. And even after you do that, there is no guarantee that interviewer will be asking the question from those list of 1,000 questions that you have prepared. First of all, it's almost impossible to memorize 1,000 questions. The only way to answer that is when you have implemented it yourself. When you implement it yourself and you have faced the error, you go to Google, you go to Stack Overflow, and you try to search in GitHub repositories if anyone else has faced the error. And when you try to debug this entire cycle, then you remember, when an error, when an issue keeps you awake till 2 a.m., then you remember it for the last lifetime. I can surely say this because I have been there. I have done this a lot of time. I remember all those scenarios because you have to spend time on implementing, and you have to time spend time on troubleshooting all those things, right? So this is what I would suggest. Preparing for CK, just want to know how can I use pen and paper to note down questions for reference if I fail in now. You are not allowed to use pen and paper in the CK exam, so don't do that, otherwise they will disqualify you. You won't be able to give the exam again. Okay. The only way to clear the exam in first attempt, and you get one free attempt for the CK certification, right? But let's say you don't want to take that chance, you want to clear that in the first attempt. Watch my entire playlist, CK playlist, and it will have all the questions are covered. There is nothing new, but you have to practice a lot for CK, because CK exam is like you have to implement everything on your own. Like it's a task based exam, it's a performance based. You will be given 16 to 20 tasks, and then you have to implement that in 2 hours of time. And if you're stuck somewhere, then it could take all of your time, right? So you have to practice everything, right? You have to practice a lot. You have to practice Linux commands, you have to practice shortcuts in VI editor, you have to practice how to toggle between different windows in the exam environment, right? So do all of those things. And also I have published this book, Certified Kubernetes Administrator, it covers all the exam questions, all the scenarios, everything, including all the topics. So I will announce the launch of this book soon. So till then, you can follow the CK playlist. Okay, Shekhar, I want to know, how do you react with fresher who is having and doing some good hands-on experience projects? I don't really understand your question. How do I react? I mean, if someone is doing good hands-on experience projects, or it's good, right? Well, I'm not sure what's there to react. So can you please elaborate a little more? And let's take the next question. I have done CKA currently, so currently looking for fresher jobs. So what are my chances can get placed as a fresher? Yes, Nagaraju, just don't rely on any course, any certification that you have done. Make sure, I have covered a lot of things in this live. Make sure you create the project. So I don't want to repeat again and again, but maybe after this you can watch the previous questions, and I've explained it very well in the earlier answers. Otherwise it will be just repeated sort of answer, and others will not get chance to get their question answers. Okay, thanks a lot for your reply, that helps a lot. I wish you all the best, Neetu. I'm glad it helped. Need lectures on OpenShift on whole. So Vic, OpenShift is nothing but a managed Kubernetes service. It is similar to GKE, AKS, EKS, right? There is nothing new. So I would say if you have worked in any of the managed cloud service, is pretty much the same. And then rest, it will be all easy. So learn Docker, learn Kubernetes, learn any managed cloud Kubernetes service, and then your OpenShift will be covered. But you have to practice it. You have to do the hands-on by yourself. The reason I'm not creating that OpenShift playlist, or I have not created, because there is not a lot of demand in the market. What I create, most of my videos, most of my playlists are based on the messages, the DMs that I get, the video requests that I get. I'm not sure if it is visible, but over here you can see a whiteboard, right? So I have two big whiteboards on this wall, and whenever I get a request, and after this live session as well, but whenever I get a request in the live session or DMs or comments, I wrote it down over there. And then the repetitive or the most number of requests, those are the videos that I pick for publishing. And OpenShift is one of the least requested topics. So yeah, so nothing planned as of now. On average, if someone gets a DevOps cloud role as fresher in Bangalore, how much we can expect? I don't know, man. I mean, I've been living in Canada for past 8-9 years, so I'm not sure about market of DevOps in Bangalore. But what I have learned from a few of the people, I would say on an average, if it's a good company, if you have really good skill set, then I would say 7 LPA, 8 LPA you can get. But again, it's mostly on the higher end, 7 to 9 LPA. But other than that, it could be anything, right? There is no ceiling or floor to it. What is your idea about moving clusters from EKS to GK within minutes? I have seen it conferences, but I've tried to search on website, but nothing I got. Can you please explain and give resources? I'm not really sure, Karan. I have not really done the migration myself. But I would say if it's a production application, I would say try to find some, and that's really a good question. I will also try to find it. So try to find some case studies, some white papers around the managed Kubernetes migration from one cloud to another. So there are a lot of services that are available, I am sure. So in GKE as well, there is Anthos, which is multi-cloud Kubernetes service, and it supports all the other clouds as well. And then there is Migrate for Anthos as well, if I'm correct, right? So we can use those services, but I have not really used it myself. I have seen people using it, but try to find any white paper or relevant case study and try to dig more about it. I will also try to read. That's really an interesting topic, and that's really an interesting question. And people who have been asking scenario based interview questions, so this is one of those scenarios which could be asked in the interviews. Like, let's say some interviewer asks you, tell me the recent task that you have done or recent project that you have worked on. So you can have, you have done EKS to GKE migration, but you have to know everything in depth. You have to read the white paper, case study, you have to try it out at least, and then you should be able to answer those questions. Okay, Vivek, I think I have answered your question. How to plan career gap people for DevOps. Okay, Manoj, I have recently done a podcast with Akshay. So Akshay is one of my friends who was preparing for UPSC exam for 10 years. So he had the career gap of 10 years and he was from the mechanical background. So he was able to get a DevOps job. So try to listen to that podcast. In that, he shared many amazing advices and how did he justify his career gap. Okay, so try that out. Hello Imran, how are you? So Imran is also one of my friend, and I have recently done a podcast with Imran as well. So Imran is also someone who will inspire you a lot. So the podcast is yet to be published. I have sent it for editing. It's yet to be published, but check it out once it is live, probably next week. And in that he shared his journey, how he transitioned from a civil engineer. So he was working as an actual civil engineer on the job, on the field, and then he moved to the DevOps role, with the career gap, with the non-tech background. And so yeah, so he will share a lot of things. I don't want to spill out the beans as of yet, it's not published yet, so check it out once it is live. And good to see you here, Imran, as well. Okay, we can have multiple small code merges in the git repo, but each small code change is not updated on the production, but they are done together as a batch. How do we implement this batch update to prod? Arijit, maybe I'll get back to you on this. This is not something that I can explain on, without a pen and paper. This could be done. Maybe I'll try to create a separate video of it. So this is a use case that needs to be implemented with the flow and everything. So maybe next time we'll try to do it. Okay. Should I delete Windows and install Linux? Okay, Sharmaji, yes, you should install Linux. That's the only way to learn Linux. Okay. Okay, but don't go back to Windows after that. I'm working in app support issues plus patching now. App is on Azure. I monitor with Prometheus, Grafana, and check health during AKS upgrade. Will this help me move to DevOps? We only have sufficient permissions. So yes, definitely. So you would have sufficient permission in your company's environment, but there is no limit to the permission that you can have in your personal environment. So try to create a trial account on Azure, get a free subscription, and try to invest time on learning it. So your team is already using Azure. You are doing something limited, but your team is doing a lot of things. Try to understand what they are doing. Try to learn from them and then try to implement on your local subscription. Okay. And then you will be able to answer all those tasks in the interview as if you have done it. Okay. So don't make me say this again, but this is something that I have shared. But, I hope you got it. Laptop is not suitable for dual boot. Yes, definitely. That's what I've told you. Install Linux. Can you sponsor me a MacBook? I'm still using a laptop with 4 GB RAM. Sharmaji, who do you think I am? Like, how much money do I make? And I had to work hard for years to get a MacBook. I was using a crappy old Windows desktop. It was not even a laptop, it was a desktop sitting on my desk. And I had trouble doing video editing on that because it used to heat up. I worked hard for years to get and to be able to afford a MacBook. And how do I sponsor a MacBook? Who do you think I am? Steve Jobs? Come on, man. Work hard for it and then you buy it out. How do I shine while learning in public? I have explained it. I have explained all the things. Yes. Can you make video? Okay, this is what we have already discussed. Greeting Piyush. Will you do a session related to CCAD? Yes, Mohammed Banabila. Yes, CKAD is something that is there in my plan. So I'll see first. What I'll do is I'll complete the Azure TF series. Oh, sorry, AWS Terraform series first, and after that, uh, I'll see if I can create the series on CKD, because most of the topics overlap between CK and CKD. Most of the content I already have. I just have to recreate it for CKD. So I think it should be doable. So let me see. Okay. Having strong, deep fundamentals of Linux Bash very important for DevOps or Kubernetes. It's for everything. Everything is running on Linux. When you say Kubernetes, so Kubernetes is what? It's a container orchestration system which manages your containers, right? In a simple language, it manages your containers. Where does these container run? These container runs on Kubernetes nodes. What are Kubernetes nodes? It's virtual machines. And which operating system these virtual machines use? Linux, right? So even for Kubernetes role, even for DevOps role, everything is running on Linux. So yes, Linux is must have. You cannot get a job without Linux. As simple as that. Period. Okay. So yeah, that's about your question. Okay, so let's take the another one. Okay, what's the time now? Okay. Hey Udba, how are you, buddy? I haven't seen you in a long time. Do you think people will move to GCP from Azure knowing the Microsoft approach with pushing AI extensively? AI will be extensively pushed from any cloud, from every cloud, not any cloud, from every cloud, be it GCP, be it Azure, be it everyone will be spending a lot on AI. People will move to different cloud from one cloud to another, but I don't think it will be the reason for it, pushing with AI extensively. That wouldn't be the reason. It will be more of, because you see the companies are getting funding based on the AI capabilities that they have, or the AI research that they are using, the AI use cases that they are trying to solve. So mostly the trend that I see is the cloud that will be heavily investing in AI will be getting a lot of customers. So it's a rat race that's been going on, and everyone will be running to get their piece of pie. Okay. How to learn Git on your own? Like you learn anything, like you practice it. Try to build the project, try to build something small, but try to collaborate with other people. Okay, create a project and ask few of your friends, few of your colleagues to collaborate with you on a GitHub project. Check all the best practices that GitHub should have, like how do you create a pull request, how do you merge, what are all the branching techniques do we have, which branching technique is suitable for your project. Try to implement that. Try to implement everything that is there for GitHub. Learn it on the job while collaborating with others. That's the only way of learning it. I have moved to Linux 2 years ago and never been back so far. I have nothing but good experience. Also, Home Lab has helped me a lot with learning advanced level of Linux. Yes, absolutely. Whoever was asking the question, should I? Yeah, the guy who was asking me to sponsor the MacBook. So this is for you. So moving Linux 2 years back, Udba loves it. Okay. So yes, I know I have talked to Udba as well, and he has set up an amazing home lab, everything. So he has local Kubernetes cluster running on multiple machines. He has local storage and everything. So yeah, try to build something on your own. Try to build something on top of Linux. That's the way to learn it. Okay, I think it's time to go now. I have to go pick my daughter from the daycare. It's 4:07. Okay, and it's been an hour. I didn't think the podcast would have, sorry, this live would have gone this long, but I was enjoying answering your question, and I hope whoever was asking me the question got the answers. And yeah, thank you so much for joining. I will see you soon with the next video, and I have a lot of things planned. So yeah, stay tuned, and yeah, we'll see you. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, now how do I